Do you have a timeline? You said where there's smoke, there's fire, we're going to find that fire. Do you have a definitive timeline for that to show the fire? And if so, I would love to have you back on to tell us about it.
Again, this is years of records. We have to cross-reference years of records, financial disclosures, meeting schedules, travel schedules. It's just going to take time for committee staff to look through all of this information. There's additional subpoenas that will be going out, and we will continue to do our job to follow the paper trail to show what everybody already knows. It's just like the Durham report. Everybody already knew what the Durham report concretely stated, and everybody knows that Hunter Biden is profiting off of his father's political office, and there's a pay-for-play scheme going on. It's just going to take a little time. Durham report took 4 years. Here we are, 5 months into having subpoena power. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, 5 months in, as we said earlier in the interview, that House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer said that this is just the beginning. So I know you outlined that there is a ways to go, but what's directly right next?
Additional records. Look, we've only subpoenaed a number of banks, and every time that we get a subpoena back, there's more questions. And as we see the web of LLCs, which clearly was sought to hide the source and the final resting place of different amounts of money, it's going to take time. There's dozens of banks that we're going to have to reach out to, and we're fortunate they've been in compliance thus far. Treasury has now complied with a number of our requests. So, next is the FBI. Obviously, the FBI has a document that a whistleblower has said is definitive evidence that the president made policy decisions based off of pay for play, the exact scheme that we're talking about. We've been denied that document. So, the whistleblower has said that the FBI has in their possession evidence and that they did not act on it. So we got to get to the bottom of why they're not giving us that document. We got to get that document at the end of the day. We have a right, the American people have a right to understand what's going on. And if this president is making decisions based off of what's in the best interest of this country, or he's making decisions based off of what's in the best interest of his child that can't hold a job. So that's what we're going to do.
Let's say you get this document. Will the American people then see the document?
It depends. I mean, the FBI has alleged that they have a justification for why it has not been released, but we need to understand that. If they want to show us the document and not allow us to talk about it publicly and allow us to then use that information to pursue additional investigations, that's fine. Whatever, that's reasonable. But saying absolutely not, no. We were allowed to view the suspicious activity reports. We couldn't take them out, and we can't talk about them. No difference here. If this issue is sufficiently sensitive that they want us to do it that way, that's fine. But the FBI saying no, you can't see the evidence that an FBI agent said was sufficiently bad that warranted him becoming a whistleblower and telling the Senate and the House about it. The same people that for years and years and years had a witch hunt going after Donald Trump, that we have documented evidence that's the case, they don't have credibility. So for them to say, no, you can't see evidence that we have, it's outrageous. It is completely unacceptable, and they will be releasing that document, or I have a feeling they're going to have to pinch some pennies next year because we're not going to fund them.
When I was talking to your colleague, Moskowitz, he did say that he thinks that voters do not care about this. We were talking about the election coming up. I mean, it is still a year and a half away. Do you think that voters care about investigations into president's children?
The American people care about the rule of law. And the rest of the world, for decades, hundreds of years, has viewed the United States as the preeminent example of the rule of law. Our laws matter. We enforce our laws. Other countries do not. We are not even slowly. We are rapidly deteriorating in the global community as it relates to the rule of law. The reason that we have questions about what's going on in Ukraine is because they have a long history of not having a strong emphasis on the rule of law. There's different rules for different people. Double standards cannot apply. Justice is blind. So it's very clear that our Justice Department and our FBI, they're not blind. They see an R or a D next to your name, and they act accordingly. So the American people need confidence in our institutions, and it is our job to give them that confidence again.
Congressman, as this investigation progresses, I would love to have you back on. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time.